welcome to this week's episode of Chasing the Whimsy. I'm your host, Ben. No long introductions, guys. This one's a nice, easy one. It's a fan favorite. Came out of Chicago. No, I was in Chicago, day 2, Sunday night or Saturday night. I had this idea I wanted to live stream. And as I set up the live stream at Chronicon, I was like, all right, we're going to catch some people walking by. And then I realized there was no traffic at all. So thankfully, fan favorite again, man, Vinny showed up. How you doing, Vinny?
I'm doing good. How are you, man?
Dude, I am having a great time, man. I'm super happy to get you.
I'm happy to be here.
This is what we call a get, right?
Mm-hmm. Is it? Okay.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Since Chicago, you jumped on a couple of live streams.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you jump on, man, you're gold. People loving you. You got Kelly,
Thanks,
Megan,
man.
Bombs loving you. So it's a huge get to get you, man.
Thanks, dude.
So appreciate
I'm
you.
Nobody special. I'm just a guy. I'm just a dude.
Well, and I think that's the beauty of Chasing the Whimsy, man. We're all special in our own little way.
Yeah.
Because of all the people at Chicago, you and Don were the only ones that really hung out. You and Krabby hung out with me for like 3 hours that night.
Yeah. And it was late too.
I
think
know.
we started hanging out with you at like 10.
Yep. So what made you come over and decide to stay and hang out as long as you did?
You know, I saw you the previous year.
Mm-hmm.
You were there as well, but I never talked to you the previous year. And I was just like, who is this like lone wolf over here podcasting like solo randomly? So I had never talked to you the previous year. And then I don't know, like nobody else was around. Just some random dudes like podcasting out in the middle of an empty, like, hotel floor. I was like, well, this is fucking dedication. I'm gonna come talk to this guy. You looked fun. Krabby looked fun, so I was like, okay. So we just kind of said, the hell, we got nothing else going on that night. It was either, talk to you or go to bed. So I just took a shot, came over, and it was great. It was fun as hell. And like 10 minutes that I thought it was going to be turned into 3 hours. So it was great, And look, I always love if you're there podcasting, you're that dedicated, you're a hardcore Kevin Smith fan. Right? And I love meeting other hardcore Kevin Smith fans. I mean, most of my friends at this point, hell, probably all my friends at this point, are people I've met through the fan base.
Okay.
Which is like it's like a double-edged sword, right? Because it's awesome because I have friends from like all over the U.S. and all over the world even. But at the same time, like, man, I wish one of you motherfuckers lived near me so we could hang out more,
Right?
But I know that's just not the way it's going to be.
When did you find Kevin Smith?
Oh, when did I? You know what? In high school, I had a friend who was a hardcore Kevin Smith fan, and he would talk about Dogma and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back and Clerks and how they were intermingled, and he would make references to Jay and Silent Bob, and I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. I didn't have cable growing up. I didn't have, my parents were older. My mom had me later on in life in like her late 30s. So I didn't have parents who were like hip to it or anything. So it wasn't until I was like 17, I got my first job in a Hollywood video store.
Nice.
And I was actually working in the video game section. It was like the competitor. It was called Game Crazy. It was a competitor to GameStop. But the cool thing we got is we got 3 free rentals per time. Like it wasn't even per week. At any one time, you could rent out 3 free rentals of whatever. And so because my friend wouldn't shut up about Kevin Smith, the first film, actually, he let me borrow Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And from there, once I got to that video store and that job, I started to rent all his other shit. So Jay
Hmm.
Silent Bob Strike Back turned into Clerks, and and then I saw Clerks 2 in theaters for the first time at like 19 years old. But what sealed the deal for me was An Evening With. When I saw An Evening With Kevin Smith, and I was like, holy shit! Not only like are his movies cool, but this guy's like relatable,
Yeah.
and this guy's cool, And then he started to show up just out of nowhere because I lived in the L.A. area at the time. Kevin would show up on a radio station called K Rock,
Hmm.
which is a radio station I listened to all the time. K Rock, and I've told this to like Ralph Garman himself, who Kevin became friends with, who does Hollywood Babylon with. Ralph, I would wake up in the morning listening to the Kevin and Bean show, the show Ralph was on, and at night I would go to bed listening to Loveline, which was another,
Yeah. Yeah.
K Rock station show with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. So I loved listening to that shit. And Kevin would always show up on K Rock. He would either show up on a Kevin and Bean show or he would show up on Loveline. So like between his movies, An Evening With, and then his appearances on K Rock turned into him doing Hollywood Babylon. Then I found out about Smodcast
Right.
with Mosier. And it was just, I think, it was just being able to have so much exposure
Yeah.
to him, you know.
He
That's
was
kind of, I mean,
always,
that's where it started.
yeah, he was always big about content.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
what was it? It was after Zach and Mary when he kind
Oh
of
yeah.
hit that wall, and then he was just like, I don't want to do it anymore. Kind of like
Yeah. So
embarrassed,
fuck
like I don't want to do it
Hollywood.
anymore.
Yeah,
Um,
he got screwed over. That was supposed to be
right?
his $100 million movie,
He was supposed to be Judd
and
Apatow that year.
that's what he wanted to do. Yeah.
That movie was solid, just for the record.
Oh yeah, it's a
Yeah.
great fucking movie. It's a total solid. I mean, it's right up there with the best Apatow movies, at
Oh,
least
for
in my
sure.
opinion.
Um, but what was fun about it was like, because that's when he started podcasting. I love Mosier.
Yeah,
I do miss Moj because
we all
there
do.
was some gold in
Oh yeah,
those first 400 episodes or
yeah.
so. Um, but yeah, I found Smodcast um, like right around 2007, 2008.
Okay.
That's where I found Tell 'em Steve Dave.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're my main podcast
Okay.
today. But then um, like I'm podcasting at a rate Kevin Smith was podcasting in 2007.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I got 4 shows now, but
Oh shit.
he was doing education. He does
Yeah.
Babylon, Jay and Silent Bob Get Old.
Uh huh.
He was always recording something, and I was this
Yeah.
every day. I always had something to listen to.
Yeah.
And he is a funny guy, very relatable, like you said. I
Yes.
100% agree.
Yeah. And
And then he
very
had
open. They
very
hide shit. I mean, I don't know if you've heard this story, but I've heard it numerous times of him being able or him trying to be able to blow himself.
yes,
Like what celebrity talks about that?
right. I don't see
Like,
Clooney talking about that,
no. I mean, unless you're in porn, like
right?
you don't talk about that shit. But Kevin does. And you know what? That's the relatable part that
Right,
that I love about him. He's so goddamn open. Like he's
right.
not shy about anything. He doesn't give a shit what anybody thinks.
And then and the other part too is he always brings his family involved,
Yeah.
and then friends from years ago.
Yeah.
Walt, Brian Johnson, Ming
Hmm.
Chen, like he
Yeah.
sprinkled like the when you mentioned like your friend told you how all the movies are semi
Uh-huh.
interconnected, but then he sprinkles the same characters across each one,
Yeah.
and then takes the same person and gives them a second character.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
um, he is like a master storyteller. I love the vision he has to be able to interweave all of these people and these characters into each other.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It was funny because you were talking about working at the movies, store,
The store. Yeah.
because that's kind of like where I found him. But it was we had one down the street, and my
Okay.
mom, whether it be Blockbuster or Hollywood Video or whatever else, a Mega Video, I think it was at one point. Whatever one it was, she went to all 3 of them, and was
Okay.
like, talked to the manager. Is like, put a note in here. This kid Ben can rent whatever he wants, because
Oh,
the
okay,
idea
good.
was I would be able to go pick up the movies that she wanted, and she didn't
Yeah.
want to have any kind of restrictions with
Okay.
me picking up whatever they wanted. But
Yeah.
then at the same time, I would hear from kids at school, or um, uh, the IFC channel I found illegally
Okay.
somewhere, and I'd find
Okay.
these things and I'd write them all down and go to the movie store and find them, and then I'm like, sure, my mom wants this one,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, the old VHS days,
Yep. Yes, sir. Yeah, we're of that age.
yeah,
With the VHS days, I turned into the DVD days.
right.
Yeah.
Back when indie was indie.
Yeah.
Ah, um, so was this your second chronic? This was your second Chronicon.
This was my
Um,
second Chronicon. Well, I mean, this was the second
the
Chronicon.
second, yes.
Yeah, and I went to both. Yeah.
You roommated
Did-
with somebody that is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Who did you roommate with, and how did you get hooked up with that guy?
So last year I roommated with somebody else. So and I didn't roommate with that person this year. And there's Carl Miller, or CJ, who he goes by. A lot of people know him in the Kevin Smith fan base. Um, I mean, he's just another guy too, but everyone kind of knows everybody. Um, CJ, who I was friends with on Facebook, who I never really had. I met him like once or twice, like briefly. I met him last year's Chronicon briefly. Um, I friended him on Facebook. He seemed cool. He put out a post that was like, "Hey, does anybody, have a room and want to share?" And I was like, "Well, shit, I got 2 beds in my room, and I wouldn't mind saving $500."
Yeah,
So I hit up CJ, and we plan to share that room. And then CJ hit me up one day and he's like, "Hey, do you know Vincent Piera?" And I was like, "Who the fuck doesn't know Vincent Piera, like, of the fan base?" I mean, one, yes, I know. You didn't know who he was?
I'll tell you
No?
this.
Okay. Well, you're the guy.
I,
Um, but yes, I knew who Vincent was. I had bought some collectibles at one point off of Vincent because he's always hacking his collectibles on the site, and more power to him if he has that ability. Uh, Plus, I knew he was in Kevin's movies, and I had reference to him. And plus, if you're on any of the Facebook, groups, the Kevin Smith groups, Vincent Piero is always trying to sell his hot goalie stuff. So when CJ asked me if I want to bunk with, if I would be willing to share their room with him, I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, if nothing else, hopefully I get some cool stories out of it, or at least I
Mhm,
get to meet the guy who's been in Kevin's movies.
right.
So yeah, that's how that all happened.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't social media very well.
Okay.
But I do
That's
see
probably a
like
good
the
thing. That's good for your
maybe,
mental. Yeah.
yeah. um, I knew of Vincent
Okay.
Pereira, but when Friday night when I was doing some trivia, and one of the questions was like miswritten, like
Oh
it
yes.
was
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
So CJ comes up and was like,
Uh-huh.
was listening. Then he goes, runs away, comes back, and then some guy was like, that question was wrong. So I started quizzing him
Yeah.
through all my questions,
Yeah.
and then I get to the question about the uh in Mallrats what the poster was, the eye poster, and he was like, I'm like, not sailboats, but what was the actual image? And he was like,
Right.
well, I was there. And I looked at him and I
Yeah.
was like, oh man. I'm like, for 20 minutes, I've been talking to Vincent Pereira and trying to quiz him on Kevin Smith stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's whimsy, man. You go
Yeah.
out
I,
there, talk to somebody, and then realize for 20 minutes you've been talking to the guy.
I think he told me, was he Stan Lee's handler on Mallrats? I think he
Oh, he
told me
might have
that,
been.
or I could be wrong, but I think he told me he was like Stan Lee's handler on
That's
Mallrats.
awesome.
I mean, he was just there to kind of like, he to like help out. Um, but yeah, I mean, he was definitely there. So if there was something, and I was in that group of people where when CJ came back and was like, "There's a dude doing Q&A out in the hall, and he's asking this question about like something about the city, or like Um,
Fictional
and
town that Clerks
yeah,
is in. He's like,
right.
it's not fictional. I'm like,
Yeah, he's like, I fucking grew up there. What are you talking about? Yeah,
oh,
yeah. And then
he's
he went
such
to
a nice
Tokyo.
guy though.
Yes, he is a very nice guy, and he's very shy as well.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
That was so much fun. I love that con.
yes.
Um, I plan to go again next year. You're gonna go next year, obviously.
I hope to. You know, so I have this rule with myself and with a lot of things in life where I try to have everything in moderation
Hmm.
because I start to feel where if I start to oversaturate my life with a certain thing,
All right.
I get tired of it.
Okay.
And I feel like at this point I've oversaturated my Kevin Smith fandom.
Okay.
And I say that because for the last 2 years, I've gone to pretty much everything Kevin Smith, including the con and including the cruise. And I've done nothing else but revolve my
Oh,
life around Kevin Smith. Um,
so
so
every free minute you had, it was Kevin Smith related.
I mean, not every free minute, but like, I mean,
Travel.
I have way too many goddamn collectibles at this point. So I've started to cut back on that. So a lot of the like expendable income has gone towards Kevin. I
Right.
don't have enough room for any more Kevin Smith shit. Um, you know, and then travel too. Like, I do want to see other parts of the world. I
Right.
do want to do other things aside from like go to Chicago and to Florida to go to a con or a cruise.
Right.
And as much as I love Kevin and I will have FOMO if I don't do it, I feel like I need to pull back a little bit because
Fair.
I might start to um what's the word I'm looking for? Not get tired of it. Just I might start I might start like what's the word? Um I don't know the word I'm fucking looking for. Um yeah, I might just start kind of getting tired of it and get, you know, over feeling like oversaturating myself with it. So I don't
Right.
want to do that. I want to
Fair.
take a break. Though I did meet one of the vendors at Chronicon. I met the guy who was selling the skateboards.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, come stay at my place next year. You're a cool guy. So I became friends with him. So honestly, if it's not in October again, which I hear it's not going to be, October is a very busy month for me because of work. If
Hmm.
it's not in October and it's like sometime sooner and I can bunk with him, I might go. You know, just because I mean that will cut down my cost by a bunch.
Right.
So I might do it. I don't know. I'm probably definitely not going to do the cruise next year because the cruise is a shitload of money.
I'll
Or
bet.
that'll be in 2 years after this one. Um,
Um,
but who knows? Maybe I do love it though. It's
yeah.
like the feeling I get going to Chronicon is the feeling I used to get when I used to go to San Diego Comic Con.
Right.
Until that got absolutely like batshit insane. Uh,
What is it, like a half a million people down there all weekend?
oh, a 250,000, which is still a
Yeah. That's
crazy amount of people, and you just can't do shit anymore. It's
right.
like unless you want to sleep on the curb, you know, for a night and a half, you're not going to be able to get into Hall H like ever. Plus, like the studios aren't there as much as they used to be. You know, it's just it's not as fun
Right.
as you know San Diego Comic Con used to be, which is
Yeah.
fine. I mean, some people love it to death, and you know, some people have kind of lost favor with it, like I have.
Right. Um, I we have the local one here,
Uh huh.
and we did two panels on a Friday, Sunday, and I went all 3 days.
Nice.
And the year before was like 65,000 people for the weekend. And then this year had to have been like 80. Like there were so many people.
Okay.
And I enjoyed doing the panels and walking around, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know if I need all 3 days. And that's kind of where
Right.
the problem I ran into with Chronicon was I don't know, like, that I leave Sunday, so I stayed a little bit later, but it's one of those things where you
Yeah.
could really, um, like, do everything in a day and a
You could.
half.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so, part of me wants to go again because I want to be the guy who's been there 3, 4 in a row, like
Yeah.
from the beginning. But that's at the same time, I also don't do all the cruises and all the other stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm not oversaturated yet.
Right.
Um, do you have
Where
are you
are
there?
you at? Sorry. Where
Arizona,
do you live? You live in
Arizona.
Arizona. Okay.
Yeah, so we can't
Like
be that far
Phoenix
away.
or Mesa? Where? Yeah, we're not too far.
Yeah, we'll meet in the middle somewhere.
There you go. Now I can see you. That was so weird. I don't know what happened. It just s- stopped. Yeah. I don't know where the hell we left off. You were saying something.
um, oh, do you are you seeing anyone? Do you have any family?
Oh,
Like, do you travel with other people to any of these other cons or when you travel?
I don't. I'm usually solo. So I mean, am I seeing you? I have a girlfriend now. I mean, the girlfriend's not particularly like a Kevin Smith fan. Um, prior to the girlfriend, I was married at one point, and even the wife wasn't a Kevin Smith fan. She would come with me. She would be my plus one if I asked her to, but she wasn't like particularly like a Kevin Smith fan. I mean, and most of the people I've met that are couples, one person's not, the significant other is usually not there. It's usually just one person that's the Kevin Smith fan, and the other person might tag along,
Right.
just to make the significant other happy. Uh, but yeah, I usually go alone. Like the cruise, I'm going on alone. Uh, you know, the girlfriend is a relatively new relationship. So I'm not even invited. This is like my cruise. This is my
Yeah.
thing. I'm going solo. Yeah, this is kind of just for me.
Um, my son wants to go on the cruise,
Okay.
and I'm like, I can't take. I'm like, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Are you going?
no,
No. Okay.
no, man. Like,
So he wants to
um,
go alone or with you?
with me, but I'm like,
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
taking us.
Right. Oh, okay. You're like, I can't
um,
swing that.
but if I go 2027 or
Okay.
eight, whenever if he does a third one.
Uh-huh.
So when I talked about Chicago, I did a lot of video. We talked to a bunch of people. I did some podcasts about it. Tell me a little bit about the cruise. Sell me on a cruise, on a Kevin Smith cruise.
So
What happens
it's
on this
it's one
cruise?
big orgy. No,
Nice.
no. Um,
But
so
they're all you and me.
yeah, exactly. They all look like us. They all tend to look like Kevin. Exactly. Yeah, it's mostly dudes. One big weenie roast. Um, no, I mean, the cruise is everything you love about Chronicon on a boat for 4 days with no other distractions. That's what the
Okay.
cruise is. So I mean, Chronicon has some hardcore fans. You're taking it up a notch with the cruise because the cheapest goddamn ticket for the cruise, and I bought the cheapest room this time, it was still like $2,400,
Well,
and that's just to get on the goddamn boat,
right.
to be in storage, basically in the bottom of the boat in the smallest room. So I mean, if you live outside of Florida and you're flying in, yeah, you're booking a room for at least the day before,
Right.
because there's like almost no way to fly in and get on that boat in time. Um, so it is the most hardcore people, is my point, because the cost
Okay.
is so high. Kevin Smith fans aren't made of money typically, where we're not the most, super wealthy fan base on the planet. Um, but that fan base is going to be hardcore Kevin Smith fans. So just being surrounded by what I would think is like the coolest people around. 3,500 people who anybody you could walk up to, you can start a conversation with. And if you're anything like me, that's not going to be the easiest thing in the world, right? I would never go on any other cruise. Like,
Okay.
I can't imagine being trapped on a boat with a bunch of people I don't know and having to fight over a goddamn beach chair in front of a pool, or having to strike up a conversation with some guy in the buffet line who I don't know, being like, hey, what do you do for a living? You don't have to do that shit on a Jay Silent Bob cruise. You could just be like, where did your fan base started? Tell me your Kevin Smith story, just like we did, you
Right.
know? Or you could be like, well, that shirt is dope. Where did you get that shirt from? Or let me see that fucking Kevin Smith tattoo, which you will see everywhere on a cruise, like a bunch of different Kevin Smith tattoos, myself included. Um, so it's just the level of comfort is part of it. The people are fucking awesome. Um, the activities on the boat are awesome. You get to, last time Kevin read the script of Mallrats 2
Mhm.
while on the cruise, being able to see Hollywood Babylon live or Fat Man Beyond live. There's just all these different goddamn activities. So you're never bored. There's always something to do. There's always somebody fun to bump into. You could fucking play poker with Ralph Garman or Jason Lee. I mean, last time on the cruise, and the celebrities don't act like celebrities on the cruise for some reason. They're not all stuck up in their celebrityism. Last time, like, Brian O'Halloran was getting Starbucks. And I was like, hey, can I get a picture? It was like an hour into the cruise, and he was like, yeah. Same thing with Jeff Anderson. Just bumped into him, and he was great. Took a picture with him, took a picture of Ming Chen. And just everybody was super fucking cool and friendly. Just because I think they knew that, like, these are hardcore fans and no one's going to do anything stupid. You're trapped on a boat in the middle of the ocean.
Right.
No one's going to do anything dumb or creepy or anything like that. Plus, I don't think fans like were overbearing. Everyone kind of knew, how to be respectful of the fact that, like, don't go up with all your, all your different like shit you want them to sign. Nobody was really doing that. It was like, can I take a quick selfie? And then you move on or say why you love, that celebrity, and then you move on. So everybody was super fucking cool. Uh, One of the things that was the most fun for me on the cruise was I hung around the cigar like little lounge room, whatever, and I got to talk to like the lead singer of like one of the bands for an hour. Found out that he was from Long Beach, California, and like he knew one of my buddies who's in the ska band. And we just started talking, and I ended up being in that cigar lounge for like till like 4 in the morning. It's just super chill, super relaxing, a bunch of fun Kevin Smith shit to do, and just the dopest people in the world. And you will make friends with people. Hell, you want
Yeah.
people to be on your podcast? That is probably the best place to find cool ass people to be on
Heck
your
yeah.
podcast is that boat, you know? So yeah,
They're hard. There's
yeah.
the hardcores I saw in Chicago. There's a they have a presence about them where they're like,
Yes,
yes,
yeah.
I was on the cruise.
Yeah, yeah. And,
um,
and there's a lot of the really hardcore people were not in Chicago. I know the
no.
really hardcore people. There were a few of them that were there, but there's other like even more hardcore people that save it for the cruise and don't go to Chronicon, or at least they didn't go this year.
Okay. Um, so like Chicago
Mm-hmm.
for 2 years, I was the only one visibly, like consistently recording something or live streaming something.
Uh-huh.
Does anybody podcast like on on the cruise at all? Like
No, I
what? Like
don't
it's so
think so.
weird.
It is there's a few other people in the Kevin Smith community that are active podcasters. Um, I think Chris McDonald podcasts a little bit. Uh, God, I forgot the other dude's name. I haven't talked to a few of these guys in a while. There are a few other podcasts that have spawned off directly from like the Kevin Smith fandom, but there's not as
Mhm.
many as you would think of. And there
Wh-
really isn't anybody like you who like directly goes and podcasts there, which is kind of
Which is
crazy.
really weird. You would think that you
Yeah.
would,
Yeah.
because Kevin Smith, like his whole like for 10 years from '07 to even a little bit after Red State,
Yeah.
he was all about podcasting, and he
Yeah.
still tells people like do your own podcast, do your own thing, be creative, like just tell stories and talk
Yeah.
and and that's what we started doing. And like we go to this small con in Tucson, and
Okay.
we podcasted there. Um, it's just weird that I don't see more people doing it.
Yeah. Um,
The because I know Ming Chen, so
mhm.
I hit him up all the time. I'm like, hey man, am I allowed to record in Chicago? He's like, you can do whatever you want in Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody
So I'm like,
cares.
all right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And you could
it's
probably do whatever you want on the cruise too. I mean, I don't know.
yeah.
Do you need internet access though to record?
Um,
You are going to be
well,
in the
no,
middle
because
of
I can
the
just
ocean.
record it all and just upload it all
Yeah.
when we get back.
Yeah.
I guess uh, I'm surprised I don't see more podcasters
Yeah. I mean,
because everybody has a fun story
yeah.
um, of something. Even if your first like 4 episodes were here's all my favorite things about Kevin Smith, kind of get
Hmm.
used to it, and then you start bringing in other people to either tell stories about growing up or your fandom, or it branches off into something else. I'm just surprised I don't see more people doing it
Yeah.
because it's super easy.
I mean, well, they teach me. I've always wanted to start doing it. I just never kind of never started.
What would your podcast be about?
I've always wanted to do a podcast. I wanted to call it the Nonsense Podcast. Um, and my podcast, kind of a loose term, would just, I hate to say it would be kind of a bitch and moan podcast, but that's kind of what it would be. It would be it would be kind of breaking down things I think are kind of nonsense. And
Yep,
like, here's the one example I always go to of something I think is real nonsense. And what's nonsense is how hard people are on movies when it comes to reviewing them, and especially negatively.
right,
And my thought process behind that is there is no bad movie. Movies are art. Art is subjective. And what's bad to you might be a great piece of art to somebody else.
right,
Nobody goes, or at least typically people, and they really, or at least you shouldn't be like, well, I hate Taylor Swift. She sucks.
right,
No, she doesn't suck. She sells tens, hundreds, millions of songs every year. I was going to say albums, but nobody buys albums nowadays. Downloads, whatever she gets, streams, whatever. She makes money. She's successful. Her tours are absolutely huge. There's no way she sucks as an artist. You
right,
just don't like her. She's not
right,
your cup of tea. I don't like country music. I'm not going to say it sucks. It's not my cup of tea. I don't like Tyler Perry movies. They're not my cup of tea. I'm not going to say his movies suck because he is wildly successful.
right,
It's just the same way Kevin Smith might not be somebody's cup of tea.
right.
So that, to me, to say art in any kind of shape or form sucks is nonsense. And
Okay.
that's kind of what my podcast would be. It would be kind of going over things I think are nonsense. It could be everything from that to, like, I think speeding tickets are nonsense.
Right,
I don't think they do any good aside from making police money. I
right.
think that's absolutely
Jaywalking,
nonsense. Yeah.
right?
So it'd be a very broad range of whatever's
Alright.
going on in the world or whatever I could think of.
Um, and I think the beauty of that is you shine a light on how lazy people are when they judge.
Yeah.
Because you're like, "Oh, it sucks," but then you're like but, like,
Break it
yeah, a
down.
lot of good examples, like, how does Taylor Swift suck if she the
Yep.
number 1 downloaded, artist in America last year?
Yep.
She had a $5 billion tour.
Yep.
Like, to me, that says success.
Yeah.
Um, so, okay, here I'm gonna throw this out there.
Uh-huh. Throw it out.
I'll record your episode 0.
Okay.
We'll like, what would you do, 1 topic per episode and kinda keep it like a nice tight 25, 30,
I
and
have
then whatever
no
else?
idea. I haven't thought any further
Alright,
past what the title would be and what the, like, subject would be. Aside from that, I
alright.
haven't really put much thought into it. I
Um,
guess, I guess if I figured out, like, how to edit, what equipment would I need, if I started to, like, really get that all together, then I would start to really, like, plan things out. But
what's super interesting, here's how easy it is. Because, like, when I
okay.
go to the cons and I do the panels and stuff, we did a couple of panels where we're like, "Podcasting is easy, just do it."
Okay.
And people were like, well, same thing like you said, the equipment and everything else. I'm using Riverside. You can use StreamYard
Okay.
or Zoom, and you just hit record. And then most of these programs are really good at like decent at filtering out some of the background noise and stuff. And like
Okay.
this one has an AI feature, so it cuts out
Oh.
a bunch of the background noise. So like the idea of recording is simple as hell. Like it's
All
like the
right.
craziest thing ever. I've been doing it for 3 years. From when I first started to today, like technology has advanced so much where
Right.
you can literally my nephew at the age of 10 was like, I want to start podcasting. So he saw me log into StreamYard. He
Right.
goes home, logs in, creates his own account, and has recorded 4 episodes.
Oh, okay.
Um, so what we would do, so let's say sometime first of the year,
Uh-huh.
I'll have Megan come on with me because she likes to do episode zeros.
Okay.
Um, but we'll test it out and we'll see what it looks like.
Okay.
And worst case scenario, I'll record them all for you. Like that's how easy it is. Like
Yeah.
you would call like this, you would do your podcast, I'd mute myself, and
Uh-huh.
then when you're done, I would just upload it and send it to you.
Okay. And
Or post it for you.
you're not using a microphone or anything? Like, what do you, okay.
Yeah, I got one over here.
Okay. I
Um
mean, I'm just
I
using
don't do the
some,
headphones though.
yeah. I'm
I
just
hate
using
using the
some
headphones.
cheap,
Yeah.
like $30. Yeah. I have another buddy who does a podcast, and every once in a while, he's a big audiophile. And every once in a while, I'll jump on his podcast, and he made me get these wired USB headphones, because he said Bluetooth headphones don't work, and I don't have a microphone. Uh, so he hates Bluetooth headsets for recording. He says it's the worst audio ever. So I bought these, and these he says work perfectly fine. Um,
I
but I'll
I
go get a
think
mic if needed.
um
I
it's
Here's the thing. I work for a company called, and they own a company called, who makes a bunch of gaming peripherals, including microphones. So I could get one pretty easily if I need to, is my point. Um, I just would have to tinker with it. Like, how do I mean,
um
does it just pick up? I'm assuming this Riverside program would just pick up the mic, and
yeah,
I don't know. I
it's
guess I have to give it a shot.
it's all it is a Zoom recording
Okay.
and then it uploads everything.
Sweet. Okay.
Like it really is the easiest thing in the world. So we're gonna
Okay.
record your episode zero first of the year.
All right.
Um, I'll record the first one or two until you kind of get comfortable doing your own thing. But I
Okay.
think and I'd come on, obviously.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Um, I I've done it. Um, we're in our third year, and I'm telling you,
Nice.
I'm having a blast.
Okay.
It is the coolest thing, man.
Okay.
Just talking about whatever, and then inviting all the
Yeah.
family over. Um, what do you think of the Mind Pocket show that you jump in on?
I mean, that show's cool. I mean, it's just your random thoughts, which is really cool. Um, uh, yeah, I mean, that's a cool show. I mean, I can give my input kind of in the chat, but just listening to your random thoughts. I mean, most of them are about wrestling, which is always fun. Uh, but yeah, that show's cool.
Uh, we're coming up on 100 episodes of Mind Pockets.
Oh shit. Okay.
Um,
I've only heard a
but
few. Yeah.
they're really like I can't say that it's the best show because all the shows kind of have like their own thing to it.
Yeah.
But the Mind Pockets is fun because it's like just the most random thing I came up with, which is like,
Okay.
let's record random ideas and thoughts and then I'll discuss. And then like
Right.
when you when you listen to when I play them back, like throughout my week, it's like ups and downs.
Right. Yeah.
And then sometimes I'm like a little like a little emo-y and then a little like really excited about something, like who knows?
Yeah.
Um
It's funny because you just record them as you have them. I take it.
yeah, throughout the week.
Yeah. It's my girlfriend does something similar. She records her dreams after she has them.
Yes.
So after she'll have a dream, if it wakes her up, she'll immediately record herself
That's so
and then she'll
cool.
play it back to me and then we'll talk about her crazy ass dreams, which I've never had anybody ever do, which is like, I think is super interesting that she does that because we'll have these full blown like conversations and breakdowns of like the meanings of her like crazy ass dreams. I mean, everyone's dreams are crazy and nonsense.
That's a
But
podcast.
then it kind of is a podcast in itself too. Yeah.
Uh, so I'm going to keep you. We got episode 100 coming for Mind Pockets,
Okay.
and so I'm going to start putting out a couple of things over the next couple of weeks. But I have this idea, this vision.
Uh-huh.
And I take there's there's a there's 800 of them right now, individual Mind
Oh
Pockets.
wow. Okay.
And by the time I get to 100, it will be just over 1,000.
Okay.
I'm going to take all 1,000 of those files and play them one after another. It's going to come out to like 15 hours.
Holy shit. Okay.
So we're going to have a Mind Pockets lead into 100 of
Okay.
just 100 of 1,000 thoughts of Ben over 100 weeks.
I wonder how many of those thoughts overlap, like or repeat. Like if you've ever
Um,
had any two that have been exactly the same and you just didn't remember between like episode 1 and episode
right?
800, there's got to be a time where you repeated yourself and just didn't realize it.
You would
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
There are some callbacks for
Okay.
sure. But like maybe.
Yeah.
But the idea is like my favorite thing about, and this is why I encourage anybody to do a podcast is I'm going to record, I'm just going to like air out 15 hours of just random thoughts. And that's the
Yeah.
podcast.
Okay.
um, but it's there. I'll put out a couple of test ones for everybody because
Okay.
I'm starting to prepare for it now. Um, but when you listen to the Mind Pockets just by themselves, without the commentary in between, like there's something like kind of awesome and then like weirdly haunting to be like stuck in some guy's head as he's thinking with no explanation.
It's like being John Malkovich type of
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but I'm excited. Um I hope you podcast like you keep going with it because
Okay.
it's a fun idea.
Yeah, I've been told that too. I mean, by like coworkers and stuff. Um, yeah. I mean, like I said, I jump on one of my buddies' podcasts from time to time. Uh, and yeah, I mean, people tell me that they think I'd be good at it. I just kind of never take it. I guess one reason why, I've also never kind of delved into it is I'm a very talkative person, as you could tell. I'm a very open person, almost a little too much. And I've kind of been afraid that I'll start to delve into shit that like maybe my people at work won't be happy about hearing.
Right.
I'm a very opinionated person, and I work for corporate America. I work for a giant tech company, and I
Right.
do have very big opinions of them, and just tech in general. Well,
Okay. So
like
you need a producer to kind of keep you in
tell me to
check.
shut the hell up. Yeah, I mean,
Cut it
like,
out.
I mean, like, I fucking hate AI. I can't stand what it's going to do to just the industry as far as just work and what's going to do to art in general. Yeah, I work for a big tech company where that's all they're about,
Right.
all about fucking AI.
Um,
And I
it's
know shit I can't talk about.
yeah.
You know,
Um, AI is scary.
oh, it's-
There was I watched something earlier today, and they were talking about like AI. So you got the big three AI companies,
uh-huh,
and then like they're trying to build to like AI that basically will replace you one day.
uh-huh,
And then there's this idea that like on the news they're talking about the AI bubble. So
yeah,
like we're at this point now where either one of the two has to happen. Either AI has to take over or the bubble pops. And because there's so much invested into this AI stuff, Like we're
Yeah.
going to see another market crash like '08,
Yeah.
and then like all hell will break. Like it's like it's like the scariest thing in the world right
Do
now.
you know what the bubble is that they're talking about? Do you know
No.
what was generating that bubble? So
What?
have you heard about, not to get political, but have you heard about Trump's big beautiful bill bullshit?
Yeah.
That big thing that the Senate just passed.
Yeah.
Within that bill, there's, and don't quote me on this because I'm sure there's some part of it that I'm misquoting and wrong about. But within that bill, there's a US government mandate to try to support the first company that finds the next like revolutionary breakthrough in AI,
Yeah.
that they can essentially hand over to the US government. And there is like huge tax incentives. And those tax incentives will go towards building essentially um, like a power structure to support AI data centers. The big thing that's holding AI back right now is not the advancements in AI to figure out like how to make a robot fucking do everything. The thing that's holding AI back right now is power. AI consumes power like nobody's business, energy.
Hmm.
Um, it the Wachowski brothers had it 100% correct when they created the Matrix, and they were like, the robots need fucking humans to create like a power structure to
Right.
feed themselves, right? AI, to make AI work, the amount of power needed, the amount of energy and electricity needed is unfathomable. And, you know, we don't have the power system to support data centers to be able to generate AI to the point it needs to. I originally thought like, oh, we don't have like the compute power out right now. No, that we're
Hmm.
completely wrong. Like processors and graphics cards, we are able to make super crazy fast computers. Like there is no limit how fast we can make a computer. There is a limit to how much energy we can feed into a computer to
Hmm.
get it to operate at the power it needs to. We just can't provide enough electricity. It's also the reason why like Trump is very much like anti windmills and all that shit, because that doesn't allow the power structure needed to generate AI. This is getting really deep into like the AI bullshit.
Right.
Um,
But it's crazy though, and um, and
my
there's so
point
much
is,
information. It's
yeah,
weird out there.
my point is that the bubble is within like this government mandate, and honestly, like I hope nobody does, because it is going to
Right.
cost a shit ton of people jobs,
Yeah.
and it is going to like destroy the arts and entertainment industry, which
So
sucks.
what's interesting about the arts? So, you know Jay Sarge, and I think you're friends with
Uh-huh.
Jeff from Suggested Articles.
No, I don't think so. No.
Jay Sarge, who does the Tell 'em Steve Dave music,
Okay, okay, okay.
and then I think you're. I think somewhere on one of the platforms, I think Instagram, you're friends with them. But
Oh,
so they
maybe.
do a
Yeah.
podcast, Suggested Articles, and they're
Okay,
like a real fun, laid back conspiracy theory.
okay.
AI's the devil, tech, horrors of tech.
Yeah,
But there was a in a
you should
they
connect
had a
me with
guest
them.
on. Yeah, 100%. Reach out to them, dude. Dude, they'd
Okay,
love you.
okay.
Um, but they had a guest like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I forget what her name is.
Uh-huh,
But she came on. She's an artist, and she had a really interesting perspective on AI and art.
uh-huh,
She compared it to photography. Like when photography first came out, people were like, "Well, that's not real art. You're just taking a picture of something."
mhm.
And then it eventually gets to a point where people were able to start finding like the art behind like photography.
Right, yeah.
So the idea of AI coming in, what she was excited about is to see how man steps up to create what's the next level of art look like, kind
Right.
of. Um, so if I was gonna go not so cynical, I like the idea of um like what do we do next? Like, what is the next cool art form? I have
Yeah.
no idea what it is, to
And,
be fair.
and don't get me wrong, there are great applications for AI. You
Yeah,
know, deep fakes and like the way like some of the studios are using AI to like, here's a good example. AI was used at the Sphere in Vegas. They used it to expand the Wizard of Oz, right? It wasn't all AI, but they
right.
did use it to generate like AI people in the expanded dome shaped, background and images, like things you could only do either with a shit ton of money and a shit ton of man hours or AI to simplify it. So that's like a good application of it, right? Or,
Yeah,
like I said, deep fakes, that's AI, or the way like Hollywood studios are using some AI to like make movies and TV shows. There are good applications to it. I'm not saying
yes.
there's not, but the fact of the matter is, that's not what big tech and governments want to
Oh,
use
right,
AI for. They want to use
right.
it to do away with jobs.
Like,
And a lot of people are going to use AI for really bad deeds, and they're going to
yeah,
use it to just be 100% lazy,
right,
with it. Instead of trying to make things better, make a more believable fucking Godzilla, they're going to
right.
try to make, there's going to
Real
be
Godzilla.
yeah, they're gonna try to make a Godzilla that involves no people making Godzilla whatsoever.
Right,
That's the bad application to it, and that's like my fear of it is
right,
like like here like one thing I think of is like the comic book industry is struggling like crazy. Nobody's buying
right,
comic books nowadays. How easy once AI takes off will it be for Disney to just be like, fuck pencilers and colorists and artists. Let's just have fucking AI draw everything and we'll just release it digitally. Like we don't even have to do the prints anymore. We'll just have AI do basically everything for us.
right.
That's kind of my fear is,
Yeah,
once it gets to that point where it can just pretty much do everything, they're going to allow it
right.
to.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and,
Um,
and it, and it
the
will, it will get there.
it will.
Unfortunately.
The podcast from November 10th
Okay.
suggested articles. The artist was Kim Farbota, Farbota.
Okay.
Very interesting lady, and I enjoyed the different take on her view on AI and art. Um, but I agree. I think like the Star Trek. You watch Star Trek?
No.
Oh.
I'm a Star Wars fan. Yeah.
But the idea of like Star Trek, right? They have the Federation in which nobody
Yeah.
has to worry about money or food, and everybody has a
Yeah.
certain task. And like I think you get there with the advancement of technology and AI. I just don't think as a society we're ready at that point
I
because
mean,
like
yeah.
ideally the best thing we could do is like if AI is going to make my job easier. Like I would like, hey, I'm going to start a business. All right, you're hired. So you work 40 hours a week. AI comes in and helps your workload.
Right.
But then what happens is I'm going to pay you for the extra 8 hours that AI takes away from your work.
Yeah.
And you have to do something productive, whether it be creative or educational, or like you have to advance yourself personally. And I think I still pay you the same amount of
Right.
work is getting done, but now I'm technically growing you as a person. And now you'll be a better person 10 years from now when I need you to with whatever you've learned. Like, I think that would be a great way to use AI.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
take
in the
workload off.
yeah, in the perfect world,
You're right.
in an idealistic world, absolutely. Like, could AI bring peace and make life easier for us? I mean, yeah, I'm too much of a pessimist
Yeah.
to think that it would be used for that. I'm trying to look for the fucking what's that Matt Damon movie, um, where he ends up putting like this exoskeleton suit on and he has to go fight the rich people.
Elysium.
Elysium. I think that's what AI will turn us into. You have the rich motherfuckers who live on their like kingdom in the sky, who AI does everything for, and they don't do shit like gods. And then you have the rest of us who are just like in the swallows left on Earth. You know, to like,
in random mech suits.
yeah, you know, that I can't think, especially the way things are going on now, where like, you know, the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. It doesn't look very good for us. You know, like AI is going to come along and do anything for me. I don't think it's going to do shit
Right,
to help me. It's like right now, it's like, oh, AI can help me write a better sentence, and it can help me
right,
like get some information off the internet more cohesively. But aside from that, you know, it's not doing anything to help me in my life.
right.
You
Not
know,
yet.
not, yeah,
Right,
but you know, at the same time, like, I kind of miss the days where I didn't rely on just my phone. I miss the days
right,
where in my pockets I had a camera, an MP3 player, you know, plus a phone, you know, and I wrote things down on an actual calendar. And I don't know any phone numbers anymore, you know, and I don't know how to spell most things anymore because I don't have to. I'm I
right.
I do believe we're becoming dumber. I don't have to think when I drive. You know, I do think we're gonna turn into Wall-E. You know, we're all gonna
Right,
have floating chairs and smoothies, and robots are gonna. But who's gonna pay for that shit? You
right.
know. So I don't know.
You
That's
and
kind
me.
of, yeah.
Um, so where did you grow up mainly? California?
I grew up in Southern California, the suburbs of Los Angeles, about 10 miles, I guess, west of like where I'm not going to call it Crypto Arena. I'm going to call it Staples Center. So 10 miles, Staples Center, where, you know, the Lakers play, just outside of that in a city called Rosemead,
Okay.
California, the San Gabriel Valley. Yeah, that's where I grew up. And that's where I lived until just last year when I moved to the Bay Area.
All right. Oh, you like it up there?
I don't. I don't like the Bay one iota. I am trying to get back to LA. I applied for one job and I didn't get it. They had already put out an offer to somebody by the time I applied. Um, the Bay is cool. I think if you come from a like colder, you know, rural area, I think the Bay will be cool. Coming from very sunny Los Angeles, the Bay has like 40% of everything LA offers. Um, and that's about it. It's colder up
Okay.
here. It rains more. It's more overcast. The traffic is damn near just as bad. The cost of living is like 30% higher,
Oh yeah.
which coming from LA, I thought was already expensive. And then I moved up here and I was like, holy shit, this sucks. Everything just costs so goddamn much.
Oh, I bet.
There's less to do. The food is nowhere near as good. LA is a food mecca. And I will
All right.
argue that shit with everybody. I don't care if you're from Chicago or New York, LA has better food. Because it doesn't matter if you're Japanese, Chinese, Taiwanese, Ethiopian, Jamaican, Mexican, Italian, LA's got all of it. I can tell
So
you all the fucking food spots in LA.
your podcast, you could do like an off episode where instead of like defending why stuff doesn't suck, you could be like
Yeah.
some nonsense of why this is the best place for food.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. All your opinions of everyone else being better is nonsense.
Yep.
Yeah, LA is the best. We might not have the best of particular things. Like, yeah, New York has got the best pizza.
Hmm.
I will let New York have that. You know, but LA also, you know, if you want damn near New York style pizza, you can find it in LA. It's just that goddamn big. You
Yeah.
know, there's just that many people and it's just that big. Of course, we're gonna have something that gets pretty damn close.
What is one of Like, what is the most unusual or fun job you've ever had?
Oh, it was that video game store.
Oh yeah.
I'm still trying to get back to that.
What years
Um,
was that?
that was 2004 to like the end of 2005, where I was forced to leave that job. I didn't want to. I had a district manager who was a dick. And because I didn't want to deal with his bullshit anymore and sell his like promotional VIP cards as like,
Right.
sign up for a year, pay us $20 cards, get a discount on games. I got tired of ripping people off, selling his
Yeah.
bullshit. He wanted to only give me like 4 hours a week in an effort to try to get me to quit, which I eventually left and I went to Best Buy. Um, but that was the most fun job I'd ever had. The money was garbage. It was hard work. Um, they were open 365 days a year, which sucked. Because I
Right.
did work like Christmas and New Year's and Thanksgiving and all that. Um, but there were like a group of kids, like elementary school and middle school kids, that all they did was come hang out with us in the
Yep.
video game store, and they were the coolest kids ever. And we would just play wrestling games and Halo and Dragon Ball Z Budokai, and just they would just hang out and just be goofy ass kids who talk shit and played video games with us. And we ran tournaments for Madden and Halo and all kinds of shit back then. As well as we would just like play music on the Xboxes or comedy
Right.
shows or stick in a DVD when it was slow and just fuck around. And it was just fun, you know.
Um,
It was just a
Uh,
fun ass job. I mean, it was part of the reason why I like related so much of like Clerks.
mhm.
Cause I was like, I'm living this job where I'm just like dicking around and,
Right.
hanging out with buddies, and it's just fun, you know.
Heck yeah.
Um,
The good old days.
yeah, and I'm trying to, like, I would love to get back to that point.
Right.
One of my dreams in life, and I almost did it prior to the pandemic. I had put together a business plan, and I talked to real estate agents, and I talked to a few different banks and loan agencies about getting a loan. I wanted to open up a video game, not a video game store. I wanted to open up an arcade. Uh, and that was a dream, and I was working toward that. And then the pandemic happened and kind of killed it.
Yeah.
Then I got divorced and that killed it even more. And then at one point I got laid off after that, and I had to find a new job, which led me into Northern California where I'm at now. So, the dream is still there. It's on the back burner, trying to recoup finances and all that. And,
Right.
but I do want to, hopefully one day I'll be able to open up that arcade and live that dream and, get back to that point where I can kind of be my own boss and,
Yeah.
just have I would love to have a group of kids who just come fuck around and, hang out in my arcade, you know,
Right.
or go back to the days like I miss did you ever do the internet cafe days where you would go and just play Counter-Strike?
Yeah.
Did you ever do that? I
Um,
so miss that shit, man.
uh, our place was Beyond Gaming, and I played Magic the Gathering, but they
Okay.
still had the 12 computers on the wall.
Yeah.
Um,
And just
but
people play
yeah, those were some
Counter-Strike?
fun days, man.
Ah, I
Because you could
just
go all summer for like $4 because you had to
yes.
buy a couple of sodas
Yeah.
and some snacks, but you can hang out there for 12
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
And you're just playing games and just shooting the shit and just making fun of everybody.
Yeah. And I was not
But
good at Counter-Strike, but I still loved it. I would take a bus to go to an internet cafe for like $3, play for like 4 hours, and I didn't know anybody there, but it was that, camaraderie of like,
yeah,
it's the same 12 or 20 people in one room. So if you kill somebody with a good shot, it's a dude who's like two computers down from you, So if you're going to talk shit, they're going to hear it,
right.
you know? It was just fucking great.
Like,
I
yeah,
miss those days.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Just something about because everything else in life in the world, like it just stopped for the hours that you were in there, and it was
Yeah.
just about you
Yeah.
hanging out, just shooting people.
Yeah.
I I agree. I think an arcade would be cool. I want to open up a podcast studio. I think
Okay.
would be cool.
I mean, keep talking to Ming Chen. He could help you with that.
Like, yeah. Um, I just like the idea of podcasting, and it's easy enough. Um, where like the idea, because I enjoyed the producing side of
Yeah.
things. Like I started doing more video this year, but just like it's like a fairly interesting um skill to learn,
Yeah.
and it's easy enough that I think I could talk a bunch of people into like coming down every week and just recording for an hour or for half an hour.
Yeah.
Um, because a lot of the problems that people have is like I don't know how to do it or what do I get. So the idea of like come down to Whimsy Studios,
Yeah.
sign in whatever time you want, record, leave, and you don't have to worry about anything else, and you just come down and talk for an hour.
Right.
Thanks for your $30.
Yeah.
Like, um, I don't. I just like the idea of getting more people creative, or expressing themselves. I think is
Yeah.
the main reason. Um, I'm making $0 on all of this so far.
Yeah. If it's making you happy, then that's
Yeah.
worth its weight in gold.
Heck yeah. Um, do you have anybody in your life that has let me saw on how do I word this?
Huh?
Who's been the most influential person in your life, professionally or personally?
Um, God, most influential. Um, oh boy. Um, I mean, I hate to pick a celebrity, and I hate to pick Kevin Smith because that's so
Right.
cheesy. Um, I mean, I can't think of just one.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I guess it would have to be Kevin. Um, and not from the standpoint in like an artsy standpoint. I'm not the most creative dude. I got some creative juices, but I'm not the most creative dude. I'm not like I can't draw or anything like that. Um, but as far like I look to Kevin, and one of the things that I really kind of like about Kevin, and I look towards him, and not just Kevin, but also like Jason Mewes and also like
Mhm.
Ralph Garman as well. Like, I mean, not to get like deep or anything, but like I had pretty shitty childhood, right? I did not have like the greatest parents on the world or siblings or family whatsoever. Nor do I still now. So I look to Kevin and to Jay and to like even like Ralph Garman. And to me, they're role models I look at from a family perspective. Like I think Kevin is a very decent like family man, and I think he's got his shit together as far as family
Mhm.
goes. Like he seems like a good father, a good husband. Like he's very open in his relationship with his wife Jen, and it's the same thing with like Jay. Jay overcame like all these obstacles in life, and he was able to get his shit together. I mean, yes, help from Kevin, but still, and like, look at him now as a father. Like, he's an
Mhm.
amazing fucking father. You know, Same thing with like Ralph Garman, who does Babylon with Kevin, who I listen to. Like, he's probably the most listened podcast that I listen to is like the Ralph Report. Um, but I guess they're the most influential from a standpoint of they kind of teach me how to be a good person,
Mhm.
how to be empathetic in life, how to be open-minded to things, how to like at the same point too, how to like not take shit in life when you feel like things are not justified. I very much like the fact that like Kevin at one point told Hollywood to go fuck itself. And he was
Yeah.
like, I'm just going to go do my own thing. Like, fuck you guys. I'm taking my ball and I'm going home and I'm just going to do my own thing. You know, um, I think sometimes you need to do that in life.
Yeah.
You stand up for yourself, which is what Kevin did, um, or build your own thing, which I hope to one day be able to do, which is what Kevin did. What Kevin still does is still build this thing, this. business all around himself. I hope I can do that one day. So I guess him and like everyone around him has been very kind of influential, kind of to me in my life. I can't think of like anybody personally, unfortunately. My ex-wife was very influential for me from a standpoint of kind of viewing the world differently. Um, you know, like my ex-wife was Hispanic, grew up to like immigrant parents. She became a therapist. So she was very influential for me for opening my mind to like not listen to a lot of like the right wing bullshit that like I think any guy, any young man can be susceptible to, which I totally was. So she was very influential to me to like the perspective of like, what feminism really is, what it means to like have white privilege, because I'm Italian, which is kind of like that gray line of like some people say we're white, some people don't say we're white.
Right.
But, you know, I very much like as a young white male grew up with that mentality of like, what is white privilege? There's no white privilege. I was never privileged. I didn't grow up rich or anything like that. Then my ex-wife like told me like, no, you're privileged in the fact that like when you get pulled over, you don't have to worry about being shot. That's white privilege. It's those things that you don't realize you're privileged about is your
Hmm.
privilege. So she was very influential. So I don't know. I can't narrow it down to like one particular person because I think there's many people in our lives
Right.
that influence us on different parts of our lives.
Right.
I don't want to give credit to just Kevin Smith.
Right.
I think there's a lot of people.
And you can even go the reverse a little bit and be like your parents or your siblings for what not to be,
That is very
even.
fucking true. Yeah, they did. Yeah. I mean, my dad was an abusive asshole, and I'm very much the opposite of me, like not be like that guy. So he did influence me not to be like him. So I mean, you're 100% correct in that. Yeah.
Right? Because it's because like those type of situations, it's a lot of it's like it's passed down. Like,
Yes.
was
Yeah.
your grandpa an abusive
Uh-huh.
asshole?
Oh yeah. Oh, he
So it's
was.
like
Yes.
Uh, so the idea, like, and that's, I think, what's weird is, like, at the end of all of this, you can look back, or when you get married again and have your own kids, is like the idea of like, I get to thank my dad for telling me like how to be a better dad
Right.
in a weird way. You're never gonna thank
Yeah.
him by
Yeah,
like by,
no, not at all.
but the idea of you're like, I broke that chain.
You're right.
Thanks a lot, guys. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't, I
true.
um Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of influential people. My grandmother, I just did an episode with her.
Okay.
There's a poem somewhere. It's about um, reasons, seasons, or lifetime. And
Uh-huh.
it's this poem that kind of just breaks down like the people that you interact with throughout life are there for either a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So it's interesting to think that you could have someone influential to you that was really only there for like a reason or for that
Yeah.
that 1 year season.
Right.
Because like I was bowling a bunch back in like '04 to '09,
Uh-huh.
and this random pro bowler one day, I was showing off and trying to, I was being a 20 something. And the idea that he's just like, hey man, he's like, you don't have to tell people you're good. And he like, and for some reason, like that stuck with me.
Yeah.
Like, I've never talked to the guy before or
Right.
since, but yeah, it's just like that weird reason, like, he was there for that one moment to just kind of reinforce, like, if you're good, you don't have to tell people you're good, just
Yeah.
keep doing your thing. Um, so, like, yeah, it's interesting to kinda look back, and that's the beauty of the podcast is, like, all I do is sit and reflect, on a bunch of stuff, so,
Right.
um, and then, like, like hopefully I'm not just a reason guy for you to start your next
Yeah.
big podcast, but it is interesting to kind of see the different because like a year ago, I never would have thought I would talk to you or somebody like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
from like a con. And this
Yeah.
the idea that this random happenstance that you walk by and you see some
Yeah.
random guy podcasting alone. Um, like it's really interesting. With like years from now, we'll look back at this. We'll do like a 5-year reunion episode.
Yeah.
And we'll just look back and be like, who would have thought that we were podcasting 100 episodes into
Right.
yours?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, it's fascinating. I love the Kevin Smith stuff though too, um, because he is a lot of family. Jay definitely overcame a bunch of stuff,
Uh-huh.
and they didn't let the masses define who he is
Yeah.
because they're like, "Oh, you're a shitty filmmaker," and he's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "I'm
Yeah.
a filmmaker though,"
Yeah.
um, and he really focuses on the positive stuff, which is a huge like if you could like, it's weird how if people could just like fade out the negative and just kind of
Right.
focus more on the positive, like we'd
Yeah.
all be happier.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let's see. Let's see if I got anything else in here for you. Um, what kind of hobbies or passions do you have that make you lose track of time?
uh my hobbies. I mean my dog. I mean my dog's not a hobby, he's a dog, but he still takes up most of my goddamn day. Um I mean I have an English bulldog, he's 5 years old. I love this damn dog to death. He is my son. So much so that he, when he was like a year and a half old, I tattooed his big ass face onto my right calf. So my right calf is all him. And I didn't do that thing where like you wait till your pet dies to
Right.
memorialize your pet. No, I was like, I'm gonna love this dog forever, no matter how long he lives. Thankfully, he's made it to 5, and he's still going very, very strong. But yeah, he takes up a huge chunk of my day. He's not lazy whatsoever. I thought I was getting an English bulldog, and like this dog was gonna sleep most of the day. Nah, like I worked from home today, and he bugs me nonstop. I mean, he's been in and out of the room I'm in now, because all he wants to do is play. So he's a huge portion of my day. Uh, Other hobbies. Um, I don't, I used to be a real big collector of just things, and that was a big kind of chunk of my day, what I would do. I don't have space anymore, and I've moved 3 times in the last 3 years. So, um, moving is a pain in the dick when you have to move all your shit, and a huge chunk of that is collectibles because things just break, and then it breaks your heart when like something you put time and money into is now broken. Like I can't have anything in the boxes anymore because the
Right.
boxes will get fucked up in moving. So I don't collect as much as I used to. I've actually started selling my shit off. Um but I was doing that. I was a huge like rare vintage comic book collector. I have a giant Kevin Smith collection. Um, then I have like a bunch of minor stuff. Like I have a big like the Tick collection. Like I was trying to collect like every Tick toy out there, which is not hard because there's not that many. Um, um, I guess I mean I work a ton now in this new job I have, unfortunately. So I mean the only other kind of like hobby I could think of aside from like listening to podcasts, which I listen to a shit ton of podcasts. I watch a lot of TV. It's like my one like happiness, I guess. If it's
Okay.
not like different shows, like I'm watching Pluribus right now.
Which is
Uh,
really good.
yes, amazing fucking
Like,
show. Between that and Stranger Things, and I am an anime lover. I wish I had more time to consume more anime, but I watch mainly just like the big ones. Um, so a lot of that movies. I'm a huge movie lover, though I don't watch as many movies as I used to. Uh, but yeah, I mean that takes up a good chunk of my time. I guess those would be my hobbies.
do you
You know,
game at all?
no, I'm one of those guys where like I have two gaming rigs that I built myself. They're now pretty old. They're like 5 years old. I have like my Steam library is massive, and I still buy games when they go on sale on Steam, and then I'll never fucking play them. I have my Nintendo, I have the original Nintendo Switch, but between my Steam library, my Nintendo Switch, and even like my Xbox 360 library, I probably have like 100 games I bought and never played.
Yeah.
Always with the intention to play them and just never get to them. I mean, I have
Right.
games on my Steam library where like the servers are now shut down and I've never played the fucking game, you know? So yeah. I wish I could game more. I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm the type of gamer where if I'm in a game, I don't want to think. I want to shut my brain off.
Right.
And too many games involve thinking.
Yeah.
And I want to button mash. I want to mindlessly be able to blow shit up or beat somebody up or shoot something, like without having to like solve a goddamn puzzle or learn a new language or read a shitload of dialogue. I don't want to read while gaming.
Right.
Like I just want to so I can't do like RPGs and all that shit. Like even like I remember when Mass Effect came out and everyone was like, this is the greatest fucking game ever. And I picked it up and I'm like, what's all this fucking reading? I don't want to read. Like, I don't want to have a dialogue with with this NPC. Like, I
Right.
don't give a shit, like, what direction, that's what I loved about Halo. Halo
Yeah.
was like aim, shoot, go. That's it.
Right.
There's no thinking. You just fucking kill everything. Nowadays it's all like make a decision and your decision is going to impact the ending and
Right.
fucking Borderlands 4. It's like, here's all these different configurations of guns and no, just give me the fucking gun. I don't want to think
Right.
about anything. So
I
yeah,
love it.
yeah, I like the fact that like beat 'em ups are becoming
Yep.
big nowadays. I am gonna pick up, and I do plan to play it. I better fucking play it. But there's that new Marvel Cosmic like
Yeah.
beat 'em up game that looks fucking amazing. And
Just run around, punch people in the face.
yeah, you just punch aliens and shoot them with lightning and shit. Yeah,
Right.
so yeah, I
There's a
are you?
game, Near Automata
I haven't heard
is
about that.
basically that.
Okay,
Uh, it's so there's it's one of the most beautiful games you'll ever play. It's like a
okay,
30-hour game maybe.
okay,
But you run around and all it is just hack and slash everything.
okay,
Like it's beautiful. It's the best soundtrack of a game I've had in forever.
okay.
Visually beautiful. It's an interesting story, but it is mindless. You just run around with a handful of swords and you just hack and slash your way through everything.
Is that on
Like
like
old God of War.
every system?
Um, PlayStation, I think.
PlayStation.
PlayStation. No, it
Okay,
should be on everything. Xbox, PlayStation, Switch,
okay. I'll check that out. Yeah. You know, do you have like a favorite game of all time?
Chrono Trigger.
Oh, really? Okay. So you like reading then?
No, no. The beauty of so like a good RPG, I can't do
Yeah.
a JRPG because like
Okay.
there was a game like Persona 5 is supposed to be like the best game ever made,
Okay.
but like JRPGs are notorious for just fucking dialogue heavy
Oh yeah.
everything.
Okay. But
Chrono
Chrono
Trigger
Trigger's
was
it got dialogue too. It's like Final Fantasy.
some
Okay.
some I mean the main character doesn't even talk technically.
Oh really? Okay. I've never played
Yeah.
it. I know of it, but I've never played it. I know what a
Very
Kokobo
small.
is and all that shit.
Yeah.
You know, but I've never played it. I mean,
That
it's
and Final Fantasy 7.
okay. That has read. It's got some.
I'll take
Yeah.
it though.
Yeah. My favorite series, it's just game of all time, is Ratchet and Clank.
Oh my god, that game is so good.
Exactly. It's like perfect level of like art, some RPG, like part of it, like gun upgrades and suit upgrades,
Right.
but not enough to like be bothersome or really have to think about. Um, and it's just mainly a points you in the direction you just go for the most
Right.
part. That series I love to absolute death. Yeah,
Uh,
I haven't played the even latest ones, which I've always wanted to get around to.
it's hard to game. Um,
Yeah.
I want a game. I just most of this I don't like the idea of playing an hour or 2 per week and it take me like a year to beat it.
Right.
Like I gotta sit down and do it.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, some
but
some gaming nowadays, like yeah, I can't play Fortnite or Call of Duty because I know for a fact that like as soon as I drop into that game, I'm just gonna get sniped by some eight
right,
year old who's saying racist shit over the
right,
internet. I can't play fighting games because I know some dude on the other end has some like $200 joystick and he's pre-configured all the fucking buttons so he can do all the super moves all easy. And like he's dedicated 300 hours to this goddamn game. So it's so hard to like game nowadays because either you're investing a shitload of money or a shitload of
yeah,
time to like be anywhere like enjoyable in a game. It's like I can't just pick
right,
up Street Fighter and play because I'm going to get absolutely demolished in
right.
goddamn Street Fighter. And they don't make single player games anymore.
Not really.
So and yeah,
Uh, my son played Fortnite. My son has like 2,000 logged hours on Fortnite across like 4 systems. But when he plays, I look at him and I'm like, I wish I knew how to play like that.
right,
But I
yeah,
can only do that if I had 2,000 hours
right,
of gameplay.
exactly, yeah.
And because
They
like
just don't.
because Fortnite, you got to do all the builds.
Yeah,
I can't build to save my life. But he's just like,
yeah,
and he's like done. And I'm
yeah,
like, I don't know what you just did.
yeah. That muscle memory. Yeah.
Oh my god. All right, let's wrap up a little bit real
Okay.
quick. If you could fast forward 10 years, what would you hope to see your life look like?
Oh, I mean, if my ideally, if I could fast forward 10 years, um, I would be back in LA. LA or Vegas. If there's any other place on the planet, I would love to live. Not on the strip, but
Right.
like Henderson or like Red Rock area.
Okay.
I would love to live like in the suburbs of Vegas. Or there's multiple cities in LA I would love to live around as well. I would love to be back there. I would love to be that arcade owner. Um, and yeah, I mean really that's really it. Like I don't have to have a significant other. I don't have to be married. I don't have to like I don't want kids anyways. I never did. Um if it was like my idealistic world, as
Right.
long as I was either in LA, in Vegas, and in 10 years, my dog will be alive. So if I could have my business, if I could have like a 1,400 square foot house with a front and a backyard, just that like, white picket fence kind of idea, like on a cul-de-sac type of thing where it's not like near a noisy freeway or
Right.
anything like that. If I could have, maybe by then, hopefully, another English bulldog or a dog, um, I would be happy. That's where I
Oh,
would want to be in 10 years.
nice and simple, but
Yeah.
like fulfilling to you.
Yes. Yeah.
What's the name of your arcade?
Out of time.
Nice.
Straight rip that shit off from Back to the Future. The Out of Time Arcade. I think it's a great name. Like,
It is.
because I would charge people at the door for the amount of time that they would be in the
Yeah.
arcade. And once you're out of time, you get the fuck out or you pay me more money.
There was an arcade here years ago. God, gotta go be like 30 years now. It was a nickel arcade, so all the machines were set
Uh,
up for a nickel,
okay.
and
Was it
like you
called
go
Nickel
and like
Nickel?
nickel arcade or nickel
Oh, Nickel
palace,
Arcade. Okay. We
which
had
was
something
totally awesome.
similar. Yeah, we had something similar in LA. And it was called Nickel Nickel. And it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like a
okay.
small chain. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, my
Um,
arcade would be by the hour. None of the arcades would involve nickels. They would be
right, right.
custom built cabinets
Nickels.
with ROMs. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so you like because you're not even talking about like the original
No,
arcade cabinet.
no,
You're
those
talking
are
about just
custom built main arcades, like cabinets. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because old school old school arcade cabinets are a pain in the dick.
Yes.
I looked into that. They're expensive. Buying parts is super hard to find, and repairing them is super hard. I just want computers with joysticks and a screen because I
There you
can
go.
manage all that. That's in my wheelhouse to where if something goes wrong, I could fix it myself.
Right. Okay.
Versus like something with a coin slot in it
Oh,
that's
that's genius.
40 years old. Yeah. Plus, you could have like a cabinet that's like this cabinet is just for fighting, and it's got
Right.
4 joysticks, and it's got 1,000 different fighting games in it. Every Taken, Street Fighter, Marvel fighting game, Virtual Fighter, Mortal Kombat, like any fighting game you could think of is in this cabinet. And maybe you got two of those. And then next to those, are like two cabinets with like steering wheels on them. And it's every
Right.
racing game you could think of. And then next to those are two cabinets that have the light guns on them. And it's
Right.
every shoot light gun game you could think of, House of the Dead and whatever, you,
And
you know.
Terminator.
Yeah. And then you could
Do
have one that's just, I don't know, random. But
all right.
that's what I would do.
Do you have to license those games?
I mean, if you don't want to get sued, you do. I've seen arcades do that and they get
Right.
away with it. Is it legal?
Okay.
No, it is
So you
not.
just got to figure out how you word it a little bit.
Yeah,
It's like a
you just gotta hope somebody from one of the companies doesn't walk in.
okay.
Is
So
real. The rule with any kind of emulator is as long as you own a physical copy of the game, you're
okay.
allowed to have an emulator of it. So I guess I would have to like start to buy physical copies, like
All
one
right.
physical copy of like every popular game in there. So I could get away with it. I don't know. Maybe I have to become a collector again. I'll worry about that when that shit comes up. But
All right.
yeah.
I love it. Um, what would you like your legacy to be when you what would you like your legacy to be that you leave behind?
I mean, in my younger days, I was always like worried about that. Like, am I gonna die and no one's gonna remember who the fuck I am?
Right.
Uh,
Yes. Totally.
y- you
100%.
know, I don't worry about that so much anymore. When I was like, I went to school to be a teacher, and to be a writer. And and I have a minor in creative writing. Like I always thought I was gonna be like a screenplay writer or some shit one day, write a book. I was always gonna be published, and um things didn't work out that way. I'm not worried about that anymore. I'm not really worried about a legacy. Um, I just don't want people to think I'm a dick at this point. As long as if I leave this plane of existence at any moment in time, as long as people, aren't like, hey, that Vincent was a douchebag, like I'm good.
Nice.
I don't need to be remembered for doing any one particular thing, or writing this book or this movie or becoming rich or whatever. I don't care
Just overall
anymore.
nice guy.
Yeah, I just want to be like, and I'm sure there's some people that don't like me that I rub off on them the wrong way, and that's fine. But overall, I just, want to be like, yeah, he was kind of cool. If I can leave that way, then I'm good with that. Um,
All right.
at the end of the day, everybody gets forgotten. No
Right.
matter how influential you are, at the end of the day, you're only so influential.
Right.
Um, you know, like I doubt Gen Xers know who the fuck Frank Sinatra is, because at the end, or Kurt Cobain, at the end of the day, everyone will eventually get forgotten.
Right. Well, what's interesting? Well, those are two bad examples because their music still lives on, so their legacy is their music.
But I'm saying no, I know. But Gen
Yeah, yeah,
Xers, like I'm like your son.
yeah, yeah.
Does your son know who Frank Sinatra is? Like if you go ask him,
Maybe
hey, who's
he's fair.
you
I'm sure. I
know?
know he knows Cobain, Kurt Cobain.
Okay,
Um, all right, fair enough, fair enough.
ask him who
Okay,
Willie.
but we get
Ask
enough generations removed.
here's a guy who's still alive. Ask him who Willie Nelson is.
Who is
Yeah,
he?
exactly. Bob Dylan. You
Wow.
know,
Okay.
maybe some more like obscure people who were influential in their times might
Yeah,
not be so much nowadays. You
fair
know,
enough. Okay, that's fair.
ask him who Genghis Khan is.
Right?
You know, you know. I mean, there's plenty of people in history who you're like, who is this guy? And you know, history forgets eventually.
Yeah. Uh, hey, I absolutely enjoyed having you on.
Me too, man.
I'm gonna have you back on more often. You come on whenever you want. FYI.
Okay, dude.
If you're
Absolutely.
bored and you're like, hey, what are you doing? I'll be like, hey, let's
Okay.
log on and let's chat.
All right.
Um, but we're gonna do your podcast first of the year.
Okay. Sounds
Uh,
good.
I'll get I'll get with Megan. You'll have two little co-hosts with you.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll record something, man. I think it'll be a blast.
All right, dude. Yeah.
So
It sounds like fun.
yeah, we'll schedule something, man.
Okay.
I appreciate you and all the support that you've shown Chasing the Whimsy since October. Like
Yeah.
you hang out in the chats, you look at the Patreon. So I appreciate uh just your presence.
Yeah,
People
man.
enjoy you in the chats. I enjoy talking to you. So uh you're meaningful. You're now part of Whimsy.
Thank you, man. I'm
You're in the
happy to
Whimsy
be here.
family. Um, but I appreciate everything, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good, Ben.
Later.
All right, man.
Whimsy!
Hey.
Uh,